All right. What is real money? You have three things that are real money that are yours, that you can spend. You've got a limited amount, but these are yours, and no one can take them from you but by violence. These things are your time, your attention, and your trust. These things are your money to spend as you will, uh, assuming someone else isn't violently suppressing you in some way. Um, and a lot of people are violently suppressing you all the time. You have to know that. We are under constant threat of violence every day of our life by the state. Um, they cloak it in all kinds of ceremony, but fundamentally, if you step out of line and you get noticed stepping out of line, you will find out that um, you are under constant threat of violence. Anyway, so you have time, attention, trust. Those are yours to spend. They're exclusively yours to spend um, as you see fit. Um, you have choices you can make. You can elect to spend your time, attention, and trust over here or over here. There are consequences to both decisions. They are your decisions to make, unless someone is, violently coercing you in some direction there. And like I said, I think there's at least a low level of that in everyone's life where there are these constraints that others are putting on them that frankly are unfair. So your time, attention, and trust aren't yours to spend as you would. But money, uh, we have a monetary system in this country that uh, we mostly just call dollars, right? Um, and dollars can be electronic, they can be paper, but ultimately it's all fiat. It's worth what the bean counters say it's worth, which is based on what the government has said that they will back, and it's all house of cards kind of stuff, right? It's all smoke and mirrors kind of stuff. Um, but this money, it does a couple things for us in a society that's big enough to have strangers all around us. Um, our time, attention, and trust, um, we might not know who to give that to if we're dealing with different people day to day. And as people approach us, they don't know if we are worth their time, attention, or trust. Most specifically, trust. And this is a big thing. So money is a storage of value in part. It's saying, hey, I worked for this many hours, I got this money, I'm storing up the work that I did for this company. They gave me these things, and I can go and then spend somewhere else. And that other person doesn't need to know me personally. They don't need to trust me. They trust the dollar. And the dollar will spend down the road, so the money can change hands, and everyone's getting what they need because um, their 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 time, attention, and trust has been stored for later use. And it's a phenomenal technology that we developed for this, and it was necessary only because our societies got so big that we couldn't know everyone in our lives. It's a money fundamentally is a proxy for trust between people that don't know each other. Um, and it's a very poor uh, storage of trust, but it's the best that we've come up with so far in a system this big. Is this poor facsimile of trust? But that's what we use our money for, is um, to exchange with each other, to store our effort, our energy for later use. We use money uh, to um, and there's something in this, right? Like an employer who knows you or took a chance on you, trusted you enough to work for their business. They remunerated you with dollars, and then you go to the corner store and um, they don't know you from Adam, you want a Snickers bar, you don't say, I'm good for it, or I've been kind to you, or hey, if you get me this Snickers, I'll get you something else some other time. Don't worry it out. It'll come out in the wash because we're all friends here. That's not your relationship with the corner store guy. He wants the money because he can trust that, right? Doesn't have to trust you. He can trust the money. And you still have your time, attention, and trust. You've got less time and less attention for other things when you're spending it for your employer, right? So you're giving him your time and attention, and you're trusting him to pay you at the end of the week. So you're giving him your trust too, right? So you're spending money when you go to work. You're spending your time, your attention, and your trust. You're spending your money, and you're expending effort. You're consuming calories, then you have to buy food to replace. I mean, you spend a lot going to work, and in exchange for that, they give you the dollars that you can go spend elsewhere. It's a storage of value. And what we've got going on right now, and have for a very long time, is that thing that we're using to store our trust in, that dollar vehicle, it's been reducing in value over time. And as we continue to give our time and attention and trust in exchange for these dollars, those dollars aren't going as far because prices are going up. It's called inflation. It's a form of theft. It can happen when you've got centralized bankers and governments doing fiat currency, able to print out more if they need it. It's a feature of our dollar system. It's a natural consequence of going off of tangible money, tangible, precious things, and people can kind of agree on. You don't print more gold. I mean, gold is, we haven't found all the gold in the world, but it's a rare and relatively finite resource, so a lot of people put stock in gold, right? Same can be said about silver. To a certain extent, the same can be said about copper. I mean, any tangible asset has some intrinsic value to it. You could say it about a shipping container. Shipping container has value as a container, as a way to store stuff. I mean, you can turn it into a makeshift domicile. You can do a lot of things with a shipping container. Its dollar value may go up and down based on supply and demand, but it's still usable as a shipping container. Its value may also go down as a feature of inflation. So if you've got inflated money, actually I said that backwards. Its value might go up. It might take more dollars to buy that shipping container than it used to. But it's still a shipping container. So our money is what's changing value, not our stuff. Our stuff can depreciate. It can get dinged up over time. It doesn't look brand new. It's not a beautiful shipping container anymore. It's a kind of dingy one. Maybe it's got some rust spots. Maybe you had to repaint it or weld a patch over a hole or something. But that shipping container largely holds its value for a very long time. But our money doesn't. And as our money is getting worth less, we're being paid less for our time, attention, and trust, right? We've got a money problem, and it's a trust problem, and it's a stranger problem. I don't know how to fix it, but I wanted to tell you my thoughts on what money is, and think about it maybe in a light than you hadn't before. Thanks.